unverified allegations about a colleague falls below the standard of professionalism that is demanded of public officials. Magulo na nga ang mundo, magulo na ang Pilipinas, wag na nating dagdagan. Don't say things about your colleagues that are not true.
I want to put it on record that I sincerely apologize to our distinguished colleague, Senator Pia Cayetano.
Hindi ba napatunayan natin ang isang kasabihan, Mr. President, Senator Pia, na nagtatali-talinuhan ng matsing, nauutakan pa rin. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, very briefly, I rise for a short manifestation which is very personal to me. Our rules are very clear, and every member of this chamber is expected to observe decorum, respect, and fairness towards one another. This is the foundation of parliamentary democracy and collegiality in this institution. And this is what the public deserves, for us to act with respect towards one another. As public officials, we are also bound by the Code of Conduct for Public Officials. And our civil code also requires that everyone acts with justice, gives everyone his due, and observe honesty and good faith. I would like to believe that in my 20 years, almost 20 years in the Senate, I have conducted myself with respect towards my colleagues regardless of political differences. Mr. President, today, a public statement was made by our colleague, Senator Ping Lacson, which was also posted in his YouTube page, suggesting that my vehicle was used to assist Senator De La Rosa in entering the Senate premises, which I quote, "Ang pagkakaalam ko, at least silang dalawa lang mag-ate, Cayetanos, ang nakakaalam tungkol kay Bato na darating. Dahil ang pagkakaalam ko, nakasakay si Bato sa kotse ni Senator Pia." Before I proceed, welcome, Senator Bato. I am happy na nakapasok ka. Wala akong problema na nakarating ka. But Mr. President, I go back. Sinabi man niya na sa pagkakaalam niya, ang katanungan ko po, Mr. President, nag-abala ba kayo mag-double check? Bago niyo yan sinabi sa public. Because despite that qualification, the statement was publicly conveyed in a manner that created the impression that I was directly involved in facilitating Senator De La Rosa's entry into the Senate premises. Again, okay lang po sa akin na nakarating siya dito. Wala ho akong problema doon. Let me state this clearly and unequivocally. That statement is false. Senator De La Rosa did not ride in my vehicle, nor did I have anything to do with facilitating his presence in the Senate last Monday. Ni hindi ko nga alam na darating siya. Nalaman ko lang na darating siya dahil ang minority floor leader na kapatid ko tumayo dyan, and he addressed the Senate President and nagpasalamat siya sa public service ng Senate President, Senator Tito Soto, which I also believe is well-deserved. Sinabi niya na maganda ang pakitungaan sa kanya ni Senate President Tito Soto. And then sinabi niya na we have the numbers and Senator Bato is present. Nagulat din ako. Katabi ko si Lawrence, ako, nagulat ako, wala akong idea. Ni hindi ko alam kung nasan siya, ni hindi ko alam na malapit na siya. I have no idea kung nasan siya. So kung paano nadamay ang kotse ko is a mystery to me, dear colleagues, and the public. In fact, Senator Kiko can attest, you saw me downstairs sa basement dahil pareho kami dyan madalas dumaan at sabi niya pa sa akin, oh, dito kayo nagdidiskusyon ng staff mo, hindi na dun sa hagdanan dahil ilang beses ko na siya naharangan sa hagdanan, sa hallway na napakakitid, na nagdidiskusyon with my staff. Sabi ko, oo nga, haba ng mga diskusyon namin. Siguro naman kung dala ko si Senator Bato, medyo kinakabakabahan ako na makita ako dun ni Senator Kiko, di ba? So, it is a mystery to me. Paano ako nadamay at yung sasakyan ko? If the gentleman wanted to know paano nakarating si Senator Kiko, then why not ask him? Sorry, Senator Bato, kung paano nakarating si Senator Bato, then ask him. Or ask the now Senate President, who was the one who said that nandyan na siya. Wala ko talaga akong alam. So, Mr. President, a false public imputation, whenever made, is exactly what the above-mentioned rules were designated to prevent. Unverified allegations about a colleague falls below the standard of professionalism that is demanded of public officials. Magulo na nga ang mundo, magulo ng Pilipinas, wag na nating dagdagan. Don't say things about your colleagues that are not true. I trust that under the leadership of my brother, Alan Peter Cayetano, whom I know, not just as a public servant, but as my younger brother, this chamber will conduct itself with sobriety, fairness, and respect for the truth and respect for one another. Mr. Senate President, I will keep this manifestation short. Napakarami pa hong trabaho. Mag-aaral pa ako para sa hearing ko on the rising prices of electricity. Mag-aaral pa ako to support our colleagues who will be the next chairperson of the Committee on Health, the Committee on Energy, at napakarami pa ho nating trabaho kailangan gawin. So I leave that as it is, and I hope that this will not be repeated again. Thank you.
Senator Marcoleta, can we give way to Senator Lacson since
Thank you, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Senator Marcoleta.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah. Can we give
Magtatanong lang sana ako, Mr. President, kay Senator Pia. Mga ilang tanong.
Will Senator Lacson also interpolate
This is just very short.
a manifestation?
Pero
Senator
Mr. President,
Marcoleta,
ako po nakatayo na rito bago pa siya tumayo. Siguro po, kung
would you
sino
allow
yung unang
me,
tumayo.
Senator Lacson, just because he was first, but he was mentioned, so I am in the quandary of who of the two gentlemen will give way. Yeah.
May I, Mr. President?
Yeah. Senator Marcoleta, may I ask you this personal favor since the gentleman was mentioned?
Sige po, mas matanda naman siya sa akin eh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Lacson is recognized.
I want to put it on record that I sincerely apologize to our distinguished colleague, Senator Pia Cayetano. That information was relayed to me by a fairly reliable source, no? And if that was a mistake, then I sincerely apologize. I thought I made that public statement because I thought it was just a very not really a serious matter, but because maski saan sumakay si Senator Bato, as everybody would agree, it is of no moment. No? Sa amin siguro, kung malaman namin kay Senator Ligardo pa nakasakay, baka doon pa kami magkaroon ng issue. Pero maski kanino pa siyang nakasakay na sasakyan, lalo na from the majority, sa tingin ko wala naman pong problema, walang issue. Kaya parang isip ko, okay lang yung i-share ko yung information that I received from, ang sabi ko, from a fairly reliable source. Now, if it is false, then, or even if it is not false, then I sincerely apologize, Mr. President.
Well, Senator Pia said that she will leave it at that, so I will not refer it to any committee. Senator Lacson apologized, you accepted. If I may just interject that it might seem innocent, Senator Lacson, but to those who are commenting, they think it's a crime, even because people got confused with the timeline, that when he got here, we didn't know there was an ICC warrant and everything. I told the media after my sister speaks, sa akin siya nakasakay, and I did not tell my sister, and I did not tell many of the members in the majority that he will attend. Ang sabi ko lang, please be there. Senator Marcoleta.
Mr. President, tatanong ko lang po sana kay Sen Pia, kung halimbawa po ako'y nakisakay sa kanyang sasakyan, siya po ba o ako'y nakagawa ng isang krimen dito sa ating bansa?
Sa akin lang po, kung kahit sino sa mga kasamahan natin dito na they need a ride, na nangyari na yon. Minsan may event tayo, sumasakay ako sa kotse ni Senator Mig Subiri, nakasakay na rin ako sa kotse ni Senator Loren, nakasakay na rin ako sa kotse ni Senator Angara. Sino pa sa inyo hindi nagbibigay sa akin ng ride? I would be happy to give a colleague a ride. But I'm just saying, that's why I had to repeat na I don't have an issue with Senator Bato arriving in the Senate. I have an issue with the aspersion of malice na parang patago kong pinarating dito na gamit ang kotse ko na walang katotohanan. Kaya to answer your question, wala naman hong masama doon.
Yun nga po eh. Siya na rin po ang umamin na wala naman pong masama, ay ba't kinakailangan pong gawan pa po ng post yun? Pangalawa pong tanong, Sir President, Senator Pia, kung halimbawa po ginawa ko yun, nakisakay ako sa inyo, dahil meron lang akong gustong pagtaguan, hindi po ba napagtitibay natin, nakasabihan nating mga Pilipino, at nakuha ko naman talagang magtago dahil nakisakay nga ako sa inyo. Hindi ba napatunayan natin ang isang kasabihan, Mr. President, Senator Pia, na nagtatali-talinuhan ng matsing, nauutakan pa rin. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Mr. President, this is not a response to Senator Marcoleta's questions or statements, but I just also want to put on record na yung tinatanggap ko po yung apology ni Senator Lacson. Wala akong problema sa akin yon. Kaya lang po, ako yung nakikiusap sa lahat ng kasamahan natin na mag-ingat naman tayo sa statements because these are very troubling times. Everybody is so sensitive. Kung sino yung kakampi mo, lahat na ng ginawa niya tama. Kung sino yung kagalit mo, lahat na ng ginawa niya mali. So why would you make a statement that would arouse angry feelings or questions about my credibility or about, anything that would, create any negative implication on your fellow senator? Sana po wag ganon. Yun lang sasabihin ko. Sana walang ganon. Kasi kung wala namang intensyon, di wag na lang sabihin, di ba? Yun lang naman po ang sa akin. Thank you very much.
Yes, emotions are high, but we are all called to a higher calling. We all have sentiments. I don't think it will be stopped. It will come out in the next few weeks depending on the issue. Having said that, as Senator Pangilinan said yesterday, maraming issue, kailangan tumutok. For the record, sa kotse ko sumakay si Senator Bato, as he said. When I talked to him and said, how can I go in the Senate? I was aghast. Senador ka bakit problemang pumasok ka? But naisip ko yung commercial ni Amang Parika, yung sabi, sumakay ka pa. Kaya sabi ko, sa akin ka na sumakay. That's why it's so obvious that I knew he was here because when I spoke earlier. Having said that, an apology was made, an explanation was made, so move on from that. Senator Marcoleta, because you gave in to my request, I'm listed as first in the privilege speech. You're second. I will ask you if you want to go first.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I rise on a question of personal and collective privilege.
Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
The sponsors of Senate Resolution number 395, four of whom, despite differences, I have my respects, except for one, Mr. President, are urging Senator Ronald De La Rosa to voluntarily surrender to the people of the proper authorities and seek judicial remedies in accordance with the Constitution and applicable laws and rules. Mr. President, I respectfully oppose this resolution on the ground that the moment Senator De La Rosa surrenders, he will be immediately brought outside Philippine territory and deprived of the protection and remedies of Philippine laws and courts. To surrender Senator De La Rosa is to effectively surrender Philippine sovereignty itself. The International Criminal Court Pretrial Chamber 1, Mr. President, has confirmed that it issued a warrant of arrest against Senator De La Rosa on November 6, 2025. It unsealed the warrant only on May 11, 2026. The warrant orders the arrest and surrender of Senator De La Rosa. Under Article 102 of the Rome Statute, to surrender Senator De La Rosa is to deliver him to the custody of the ICC in the Netherlands, a foreign jurisdiction where Philippine laws have no force and Philippine courts can do nothing. While the sponsors pretend that they want Senator De La Rosa surrendered to authorities in the Philippines, in reality, they want him handcuffed, dragged to the airport, dumped on a plane, and banished to the clutches of the ICC in the Netherlands. While the sponsors claim they want Senator De La Rosa to avail of Philippine judicial remedies, in reality, they want him removed from territorial jurisdiction of the Philippine courts, and therefore deprive of the rights and remedies that every Filipino enjoy under our laws and constitutional protection of due process. In fact, Mr. President, if the sponsors will have their way, Senator De La Rosa is transported to the Netherlands. The constitutional issues now pending before the Philippine Supreme Court will become moot and academic. The Philippine Supreme Court will be ousted of jurisdiction and prevented from fulfilling its constitutional mandate. There will be no end to this constitutional crisis, for in the years to come, the ICC, with much delight, will pick us up one by one, Mr. President. Only the Supreme Court, Mr. President, can stop to this nonsense. The sponsors of Senate Resolution number 395 cited the service of warrants of arrest on the late former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, former Senators Laila de Lima, and former Senator Antonio Trillanes. But please take note, Mr. President, they did not mention that their co-sponsor, Panfilo Lacson, evaded service of arrest warrant. The sponsors acknowledged that the late former Senator Enrile, former Senator De Lima, and former Senator Trillanes were all subjected to arrest warrants issued by local courts. For the record, Mr. President, all of them have exercised their rights under Philippine laws and availed of Philippine judicial remedies. Yet the sponsors are blind to the peculiar situation of Senator De La Rosa. Unlike the late Senator Enrile et al., who faced arrest warrants issued by Philippine courts, Senator De La Rosa is facing an arrest warrant issued by the ICC, a foreign court which jurisdiction the Philippines does not recognize anymore. Moreover, unlike the former Senator Enrile et al., who availed of the rights and remedies of Philippine laws and courts, Senator De La Rosa will be deprived of all this, as he will be banished to foreign land on the other side of the planet, beyond the reach of Philippine laws, and forever detached from his family and constituents. Therefore, if the sponsors are sincere in their desire that Senator De La Rosa be accorded the same rights and remedies as those enjoyed by Senator Enrile et al., they should not allow his surrender to the ICC. They should instead withdraw Resolution number 395. The sponsors recognize that under Republic Act 9851, it is the regional trial court that has exclusive original jurisdiction over offenses constituting crimes against humanity. This statement of the sponsors reinforces the position of the majority that the ICC warrant of arrest should not be implemented against Senator De La Rosa, and he must remain under the Senate custodial protection under the ICC arrest until the ICC arrest is quashed by Philippine court. First, Section 18 of RA 9851 provides that it is the Philippine Regional Trial Court that has exclusive original jurisdiction over crimes against humanity. Section 17 allows the transfer of jurisdiction to a foreign court only by way of extradition and provided by the Philippine court, provided the Philippine court is unable to try and decide the case. Therefore, RA 9851 itself bars the ICC from taking jurisdiction the acts attributed to Senator De La Rosa. Kagaya po ng nasabi ko na kahapon, Mr. President, wala po tayong extradition treaty sa ICC. At wala na po tayong membership sa Rome Statute sapagkat nag-withdraw na po tayo. Sa makatwid, wala na pong treaty. Yun po ay nakasaad sa Article 17 ng 9851. Second, at the United Nations, the Philippine government, through the permanent representative, pronounced that the state policy under RA 9851, Philippine courts have the exclusive jurisdiction over crimes against humanity. It also declared that Philippine courts have the competence and capacity to try and decide these cases kung ganun po pala, this is the national policy already articulated even before the halls of the United Nations. Bakit pinipilit pa natin na iserve ang isang warrant of arrest na hindi na natin kinikilala ang jurisdiction ng lintik na ICC na yan? Hence, the Philippine state policy is to assert and exercise local jurisdiction rather than recognize foreign jurisdiction such as that of the ICC. Third, the Philippine government has assumed and exercised local jurisdiction under RA 9851 over the crimes arising from extrajudicial killings allegedly committed by Senator De La Rosa. Philippine local jurisdiction already set in when Senator De La Rosa was served a subpoena by the CIDG in connection with its investigation of said extrajudicial killings. Senator De La Rosa has stated that he is ready to respond to the subpoena. It is of no moment, Mr. President, that today the CIDG withdrew the subpoena. It is a legal ruse. It's a legal legerdemain. Ang akala nila kung withdraw nila yung subpoena, wini-withdraw na yung case. No, Mr. President, the case is kicking and alive. It triggered already the jurisdiction of our National Prosecution Service and eventually the courts of this country. The crimes under investigation by the CIDG are the same crimes for which the ICC has issued a warrant, Mr. President. Under the principle of complementarity, said ICC arrest warrants can no longer be enforced because there is now a genuine domestic investigation and prosecution currently taking place in this country. The assumption of jurisdiction by Philippines over the acts attributed to Senator De La Rosa and the person of Senator De La Rosa automatically and absolutely bar the ICC from exercising jurisdiction over the same acts and on his person. These circumstances, and by reason of the principle of complementarity and the Rome Statute, strip the ICC, Mr. President, of its jurisdiction. Therefore, given that the sponsors themselves admit that under Republic Act number 9851, Philippine courts have exclusive original jurisdiction over the crimes for which the ICC has issued an arrest warrant against Senator De La Rosa, given that the Philippines have assumed jurisdiction over said crimes when it served the subpoena on Senator De La Rosa, and given that Senator De La Rosa will respond to the subpoena, said sponsors cannot but agree that the ICC warrant of arrest should not be enforced on the good senator. It should be borne in mind, Mr. President, that the protective custody granted to Senator De La Rosa is for the sole purpose of ensuring the following. First, that only Philippine warrant of arrest, not an ICC warrant of arrest, will be enforced against him. Second, upon service of Philippine arrest warrant, he shall enjoy all the rights and privileges granted by the Constitution and the laws of the Philippines. Third, that he can avail of all Philippine administrative and judicial remedies and processes. Fourth, he shall remain in Philippine territory where he can exhaust all said administrative and judicial remedies and processes. And finally, and most important of all, the jurisdiction that the Philippines has assumed over his alleged crimes under R. 9851 must be exercised to the total exclusion of the ICC. Finally, Mr. President, the sponsors of Senate Resolution number 395 question the constitutional and statutory basis of the resolution granting De La Rosa, Senator De La Rosa, the protective custody of the Senate. These purposes, Mr. President, are legitimate. They do not contravene any Philippine law. In fact, they ensure that the Philippine laws are respected and enforced in Philippine territory to the exclusion of the Rome Statute that the Philippines no longer recognize by reason of its withdrawal therefrom. The protective custody granted to Senator De La Rosa addresses not only an extraordinary threat to his liberty, but also an existential threat to the integrity of the Philippine Senate, and by extension, a grave peril to the independence of the Republic itself from foreign interference. It is a threat emanating from a source that the Philippine Constitution laws did not anticipate. A foreign entity, Mr. President, the ICC, which jurisdiction is not only questionable but also lost due to the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute. The protective custody addresses a threat whose profound ramifications include regime change and outright interference in the sovereign affairs of the Philippines. To give inroads to the ICC is to enable it to structurally alter the Philippine Senate and disenfranchise Filipino voters for the arrested senator will be rendered futile, whose votes for the arrested senator will be rendered futile and meaningless. The ICC will transform Philippine agencies as its own puppet and tools and hold hostage Philippine officials, civilian and military, against whom it can initiate prosecution anytime and in perpetuity. The Senate's custodial protection is born out of self-preservation, which is the first law of nature for both men and institution, Mr. President. The Philippine Senate has granted custodial protection to witnesses in order to ensure the continuity and integrity of its legislative hearings. It is with more reason that it can and should grant custodial protection to its members to enable them to discharge their mandate unmolested by a foreign entity like the ICC and its local tentacles and subalterns. The Philippine Senate and its members enjoy privileges and immunities under the Constitution and laws so that they may discharge their functions effectively, efficiently. Specific privileges and immunities were designed to address the usual disruption to these functions. However, they did not anticipate disruptions from a foreign source. Thus, a purposive interpretation of the Constitution and laws is necessary in order for the Philippine Senate to meet new forms and sources of challenges. For this reason, Mr. President, it adopted Resolution Number 44 and implemented the same with respect to Senator De La Rosa. The Philippine Supreme Court did not also see it coming. It has to do its job and rise to the occasion, Mr. President. In the end, the dignity and integrity of the person of Senator De La Rosa as well as of any member of the Senate, including the sponsors, represent the dignity and integrity of the institution of the Philippine Senate vis-a-vis foreign interference. Resolution number 395 will weaken its dignity and in the process destroy its integrity as an institution that stands as the last bastion of democracy. Dapat lamang na ibasura ang resolution number 395. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo.